Hey guys, welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. This is our post-Halloween episode. As you can tell, we got a whole new surrounding here. I'm in the process of moving. So you're going to see a couple different changes here. This isn't even permanent, but it'll work kind of for what we're doing. So yeah, let's kick this in gear.
Good to be back, man.
Let's do it.
Started.
Cheers to all of our
Cheers,
friends.
everybody out there. Cool.
Started.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to start this one with a recent watches. We've done this before, of course, you've seen it. Kind of give you a little, we're going to each give you a film to kind of show you, what we've kind of been digging on, and, something we see, maybe you've seen it already.
Could be an old or new film, doesn't matter as long as it's good, and, we both get some kind of a sick enjoyment out of it,
In some really weird way.
Bust it up.
So, I'm going to be doing Adam Green's Digging Up the Marrow. Really kind of an interesting film. It's what do you call it? It's not a documentary. It's a half documentary, half actual film. Adam Green, who, of course, from the Hatchet series.
Grace and Frozen.
Chillerama he was on.
Not the Disney Frozen either.
No. And basically this film kind of follows Adam Green, who him and his buddy actually want to, they try to get all these write-ins and stuff, and there's this guy, William Decker, who's played by Ray Wise. And he writes into him, and he has this whole journal about this thing called a marrow, and basically it's this underground world, these tunnels and stuff of these creatures. They're basically children that go missing, that had deformities and just altogether looked ugly, and big heads and
Outcasts of society.
creepy shit. And they went to this thing called the Marrow, is what he calls it. And it basically follows Adam, who kind of takes it as a joke. He just kind of wants something for a story, and he ends up following it up. And it's really cool, actually. It's got a lot of. It actually shows Adam Green at horror conventions talking to John Carpenter
Mick Garris.
It's awesome, and
John Carpenter's not, but he talks to Mick Garris.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think Stuart Gordon might be in it too. But there's a
think
lot
so.
of horror.
Kane Hodder comes up, and when they're trying to show inside their editing studio, he calls.
Well,
him
what am I
Kane.
missing? Well, what am I missing?
And
Classic.
so it's kind of supernatural. It's got monsters in it, which I think was really cool because they're practical monsters. There's no CG, anything like that. It was really cool.
Top-notch effects.
Definitely one of those films I think you should definitely check out. This is from 2014, so last year.
And everyone loves pancakes. Remember that. Even monsters.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, it's got a really kind of cool twisted ending to it. Definitely a really cool film. So there you go.
Really cool cover too. Show them that cover. That's awesome. I'm a sucker for slipcases. I just love that. That's so cool. This cool breaks the DVD.
See it? I got the cool slipcover with that one. So
It's really awesome.
definitely, man.
Good pick. Yeah.
What do you got there, sir?
All right. Well, if you've been watching the show this far, I'm a huge shark fanatic. We have a Jaws rule. We're not going to talk about Jaws, but this, in my opinion, is probably one of the best modern shark movies since Jaws, I believe. It's called The Reef. It's actually based on a true story of these vacationers in Australia that their boat, they have an accident with their boat, and their boat capsizes eventually, and they're basically just sitting on the bottom of the boat, contemplating on what to do. Should we swim to an island, the nearest island, or should we just sit here and try to see if help comes, And one thing leads to another, and one of the guys decides to stay along with the boat, and the guy and this couple end up trying to make it for the island, and that's where it gets really interesting. This film is directed by, if I get this wrong, and I apologize, Andrew Taruki. Like I said, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. But amazing atmosphere. This is one of those movies, I think, that what you don't see has more of an impact. For example, I mean, you don't see the shark a lot.
No.
All you see is like this murky blue water and the silhouette of everybody on top of the water. You know that there's a shark there, but you don't see it, and it's what you don't see. I mean, it's an old Alfred Hitchcock trick, and it works. It works in modern day if it's done right. And
great film.
The Reef is great. They use real great white sharks, and
real footage, which is
I love watching.
I love when they incorporate that real footage in. I mean, it's something that's probably from some documentary somewhere, but to be able to put it into a film is awesome. So
it's the way it was filmed, and it's one of those movies that's really based on characterization too, because you know these poor people are just like lost at sea basically. It's a lost at sea story, and you know, by any means necessary, they're going to try to survive. And man, when you're up against Mother Nature, especially the apex predator, Carcharodon carcharis, great white shark, I'm sorry, man, you're probably going to have a bad day.
Gonna have a bad time.
And don't ever wear yellow. Bad idea. And one other thing I'll say about this film.
Don't ride the banana.
The other thing I'll say about this film, man, amazing music too, good score, believable acting, like I said before, and it's great, man. Check out The Reef. Really good shark movie. If you're a fan of sharks, if you're a fan of like Shark Week and stuff like that, which I am.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Check out The Reef.
Right on. Well, those are our recent watches. We'll move on here.
Stick around.
Let's go kill something, shall we?
Let's do it.
Hey, I dropped your wallet. I'm sorry. I got it. Who are you? What are you doing? Hey, now cut that out right now. That's not funny.
What's going on, horror fans? We thought we'd do a little something different. We're going to do some horror comedies.
Dark comedies.
Dark comedies, yep.
Have a little
But
bit of
obviously
fun.
have horror elements within them, and the movies, we're going to recommend you some that hopefully you enjoy. So let's get this started.
Do it.
The first one I have from 1948.
Oh, yeah.
Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Classic Universal pairing of Lou Budd and Abbott and Costello with the Monsters. I mean, it's a good combo. Monsters pretty much saved the studio in the 30s, and then comedy kind of took over, and so of course you splice the two genres together, and that's pretty much what you got.
Yeah.
So it's get a little bit of everything. This is also Bela Lugosi's last appearance as Count Dracula for a Universal film. So, and in a way, it's kind of sad. Yeah, it is kind of sad because he went on to do other vampires, but for Universal, he put him on the map with Dracula. To see him play the Count one more time is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And Abbott and Costello are just they're so hilarious.
Who's out first?
Yeah, their timing was so comedic. Timing was just what made them work.
That was the Laurel and Hardy, of I guess horror, because
absolutely
it's just awesome. I love these kind of movies.
Can't go wrong with the old black and white classics.
Absolutely not.
Definitely.
Cool.
Check out Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, guys.
All right, I got one called Greg Simon's The Cook. This is kind of it's an interesting movie. It's basically this sorority house of all these girls, good-looking girls.
Of course, that's important.
They hire this cook. There's a twist ending. I won't give it away, but there's this guy who's a cook, and he cooks all these really great meals. He doesn't speak any English, and all these girls fall for him because he got that boyish charm, and the only thing he can seem to say is, "No, yeah." He just says like one-liners, okay. It's just all that weird shit. And basically the whole thing is that one by one, the girls are actually the meals. And the guy does cook really great meals, but it's all their friends. And he kills them all, and he actually feeds, these, like, burgers and all this stuff of their friends. So they're actually eating, they're all cannibals, basically. And it's really got some cool kill scenes. Of course, it's got the stupid. There's always that one dumbass chick in the movie where,
of course,
it's got but Sorority Babes, the other white meat. Check it out, The Cook.
I have one of my favorite. Yeah, dude, this is one of my favorites, hands down.
Very classic.
First
You guys
round
know this
knockout
one.
film.
Oh,
The greatest slime movie ever made. I love Slime City and movies like that, but
Tenement.
Street Trash. Amazing film.
Great movie.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
87.
Yep, 87.
Of course, everybody knows the infamous toilet scene where he gets basically
It's
rose
actually
down to boots.
Yeah.
So I mean, the colors and that was so. The elements of it, because it wasn't like just blood and everything else. It was like greens and blues and yellows, and it was just really kind of.
Don't
cool.
ever drink Viper.
Ever.
In fact, this is really cool. I'll show you this real quick. You actually could put this on a bottle. I've been meaning to do it. Viper. Don't ever drink Viper because bad things will happen to you.
I think Synapse put that one out.
Synapse, yep.
Synapse. That was a
And,
good. That's a good.
Yeah,
good version of that to get.
There's actually a different copy of this too. This is like one of the first. There's actually an updated one. I think I think there's a big documentary on that one.
Could be. I don't know.
But yeah, this one's really cool, and I mean the fat guy. That fat guy just cracks me up, and of course the severed penis football. How can we not talk about that?
Of course.
It's got the dude from the kid from the Karate Kid in it. Actually, he's a good role as that.
Yep.
As a bum, and but the Vietnam veteran, I forget the guy's name who played him, but he's just psycho, man, and he eventually gets his head taken off by like a torpedo. It's just great. It's so much fun. It's like such a fun movie. If you want to hang out with your buddies and just have a good time and watch the gore fly and just politically incorrect shit, man.
Street Trash. Right on.
What you got?
All right, we're going something that probably should have been released by WWF Films. Overtime. I really gotta stop dropping this.
The broken version.
But yeah, Overtime. It's a zombie comedy. Of course, Al Snow's in it. We know Ted. John Wells.
Does everybody what? Sorry.
Basically, it's a story of these two guys who are professional hitmen, and Al Snow plays this guy Wraith, and they go out and his wife is always harping on him because he's very forgetful. His job kind of comes before, because he makes a lot of money in these hits, so the job comes before his family, and his daughter's birthday party's coming up, and he's got to go out and buy a cake, and he's got to go buy a present and all this stuff. And I remember the scene where he goes up to the clerk and he's just like, no, you don't understand. I need this. And he's like, well, you're gonna have to come back tomorrow. And he gets all pissed off, and that's pretty much where it starts. But he ends up getting a call, and they have to do a hit at this old factory. And what it ends up being is that this doctor scientist, he makes some stupid ass blunder, and these zombies start taking over these alien type things. Really cool practical stuff. And the entire time, he has to save the cake. No matter what happens, there's blood splatter, he's got to save the cake.
Cake is okay.
And it's got a lot of one-liners in there. Al Snow, his persona from wrestling, it's great. So
I was cracking up when
definitely
he showed me that one time, and yeah, it was
so definitely check out Overtime. It's 2013. Yes, so definitely check that one out.
Good film. Well, I have one of my all-time favorite zombie films, the great Dan O'Bannon, Return of the Living Dead. Oh man, James Cameron's performance in this just cracks me up. It's so over the top, and I hit the fucking brain, Frank. This is one of those movies where you could quote all night too.
Yeah.
Basically, Dan O'Bannon made it his movie. He originally was gonna make like a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, but he didn't want to trample on George A. Romero's shoes, and much respect to him for that, because George Romero it's fucking George Romero, you know what I mean? So he made it his own film, and he made it a comedy. But there are some horrific elements within it. Yeah, I mean, it's not all fun and games. I mean, there's some, the nuke. I mean, the nuke takes everybody. Yeah. That's serious. But Tarman, oh man, definitely gonna be getting a figure of him in the future for sure. Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
And it's so cool because you can tell it's animatronics, but it's still great because you realize it's the '80s. I mean, that was the time of computerizing things and
definitely. Lena Quigley
being naked in a cemetery, erotically stroking herself on a tombstone. Yeah,
it's great. Like she's naked throughout the movie, and it's really interesting to see like this. If you don't watch it for the longest time and then you rewatch it, it's one of those movies that just has replay value. And then when you see it again, it's like, wow, man, that was a great movie. Oh, yeah. They don't make them like that anymore,
Sadly,
Return of the Living Dead. Rest in peace, Dan O'Bannon.
All right, I got one that I'm not going to talk too terribly much about, but I'm sure some of you have seen it. Blood Car. Interesting concept. Actually, surprisingly well made for being a relatively unknown film. This is from 2007. Basically, this guy who's a kindergarten teacher, he wants to create a car because gas prices like ballooned to like $40 a gallon. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. And he wants to create a car because nobody's driving. He wants to create a car that runs on human blood. And of course, what's the only way you keep a car running on human blood? Well, shit, you got to kill people. And it's just it's a lot of fun to watch this. Alex Orr did this one. It's a pretty gruesome film. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those films. I think if you kind of want to see something new, definitely check out Blood Car.
I'll check that one out myself.
I actually got that at Walgreens, which somebody probably said, this is the stupidest pile of shit. Man, I appreciate them all.
Sometimes those stupid pile of shit turn out to be gold.
Yeah.
You enjoy them. As long as you get enjoyment out of some of these films, they're not the greatest films ever made, but if you get some kind of enjoyment by watching any of these films, that's all that matters, really.
Yep.
The last one I have, I love this movie. Not a lot of people talk about it, but true horror fans, you probably know it. It's the great Psychos in Love.
Good title.
Yeah. I fucking hate grapes! Psycho Joe. He's obviously looking for the woman of his dreams, aren't we all? And he's a serial killer. And, basically he kills women. And one of the motivations for killing is they like grapes. He hates grapes. And he meets Kate, who he ends up falling in love with. She hates grapes, and she's a serial killer as well. So,
there you go.
Perfect pair. Psychos in Love. That's pretty much what you get. And there's mayhem. There's a lot of laughs. I love the VHS scene where they're buying like every Friday the 13th and Halloween movie. It's like a romantic evening, and they're taking a break from killing and they just want to watch a bunch of slasher movies. That was cool.
Perfect.
The plumber that goes to their house to get because there's a bunch of body parts in their sink, and they call this plumber who actually happens to be a cannibal. So like he's trying to blackmail them by eating the bodies and stuff, and it's a lot of fucking fun, man. This is a great film, Psychos in Love.
Yeah.
If you can find it, check it out. It's by Shriek Show. This is from the 80s. I know that. Guess I should have done my homework better, but man, it's a great movie. Psychos in Love. Check it out, guys. All right, cheers.
Last one I got for you is Ricky Shore. Sings the blues, put out Pain Shack. This is Alex Murphy, Marissa.
Cheers, brother.
This is actually their first full release. As far as film, it goes about 80 minutes. Came out earlier this year. Basically, the whole kind of real quick, because the story is Marissa and Alex kind of are going through the relationship issues, And it kind of gets worse because Alex has this all of a sudden really big fascination with wanting to become the next like internet video sensation. And Ricky Shore is his, I can't remember if he's his neighbor or friend or something like that, but he's really popular on YouTube. So Alex tries to copy him and be like exactly like him and rips him off, and he does all these rap album reviews and everything like that. Well, it kind of just slowly you see this mental breakdown of Alex, and Marissa kind of becomes afraid. And then Ricky and Marissa actually, die. And so it's a very dark film. A lot of comedic elements. Of course, their other one, Blowing Raspberries, that they came out with after this one. I think this one was a little darker, but definitely Pain Check. Check that one out.
Support the underground.
You'll get some good laughs out of that one for being a new film.
Support the underground, guys.
All right, guys, there it was.
And I got some other ones.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
what would you do without me, Ghoul? God damn it.
I do this solo.
We're not going to talk about all these films, but we're just going to kind of throw some at you that we also would recommend that could have went on this list. Monster Brawl, great film, man. Rob Zombie's Haunted World of El Supervisto.
Do not watch the kids watch that one. Shaun of the Dead, everybody knows this one. This is guaranteed classic. I mean, that's
We're coming to get you, Barbara!
Definitely.
Dahmer versus Gacy. Oh my god, you gotta check this movie
Someone's
out.
got to, and that's a gory film too.
It is, but it's oh man.
How many people can they hack?
It's a good one.
Brain Damage. That very good film.
Frank Hidden Leather.
Definitely check that one out.
Bad Taste fame. Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. Oh my god, I love this film. Tremendous performance by Robert Englund. Top notch.
Bubba Hotep, of course. Bruce Campbell playing a killing Elvis Presley zombie slayer. It's great.
Hail to the King, baby. Fido, good zombie fun. Pet zombie.
With the shot collar.
Yep.
Poultrygeist. Oh, classic right there. Place built on a chicken burial ground.
Lloyd Kaufman.
An Indian burial ground, and
We love trauma here at Descent into Horror. Deadheads. Good Zomcom.
Black Sheep. Oh boy. Killer Animals.
That was a mine, man. That was a good one. That was a funny one.
I can't even say much, but that's a good one.
One of my favorites, man. This actually easily could have made my list to talk about. Wolf Cop. Amazing film. Alcoholic Wolfman. Great.
And finally, Some Guy Who Kills People. Man, it's funny, it's bloody, it's just
some guy that kills people, basically.
Great title.
It's a great film. And I think we got one more.
That's it.
Dead and Breakfast. Excellent film.
Very classic film.
The great, not John Carradine, I'm sorry. What else is
John Carradine. No.
David Carradine. I'm sorry. David Carradine, not John Carradine. Excellent film. Awesome zombie movie. Actually,
yeah, guys.
Demon zombie movie.
That was it. There we go. We got the fun in there for you. Some dark comedies. Hope you've seen some of them. And if you haven't, if you just need a good laugh, get away from the blood, the gore, even though it's got some of it in it anyways. It's a hell of a lot of fun, man. So we'll be right back. Enjoy some death.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Now we're gonna do a tribute.
Another one going.
Yeah, it's kind of like Wes Craven. It was just like really recent, and it hit us really hard here at Descent into Horror Hill, and I'm sure it did all you horror fans out there as well. The great late Gunnar Hansen. There he is, in all his chainsaw glory. He was a great man. He was
Never met him. I know it's.
I really wish I
sucks
could have
to
met
say
him.
it,
Yeah, I really wish I could have. That would have been awesome. But yeah, we're gonna tribute. Me and Ghoul are gonna tribute to the one, the only Gunnar Hansen. And then we're gonna talk about a couple of his films that really solidified him as a horror icon, a horror legend.
Just a great person in general.
Absolutely. So without further ado, here we go.
Starting with the.
Gotta start with the first. Original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you haven't seen this, you're probably not a real horror fan. It's you know, it was a product of its time in the 70s. The 70s going to hell. Films were changing. Films were getting more violent. A lot of major studios and stuff are like making films. And Tobe Hooper, Texas, you know, he took a stab at making a real horror film, you know, and pretty much Texas Chainsaw Massacre is what came out. Austin, Texas. Marilyn Burns,
Rest in peace.
Edwin Neal, Jim Saito, Gunnar Hansen, Paul Barton.
Hell of a cast.
Yeah, that makes the cast, and what's really sad is, you know, most of them are gone now. The Hitchhiker is like the only one left as far as like the real characters go. I know Kirks and Pam are still alive. Leatherface was inspired by Ed Gein, of course, Wisconsin's own. And you know what an impact he made. When I first saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first time you see Leatherface, when he comes through that door, you know, and hits Kirk with that hammer.
Just this scream too. I mean,
Or it was Jerry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hits Jerry with that hammer, and he slams that door. It's such an iconic moment, and a legend was born. You know, this film was before a lot of, you know, Friday the 13th, Halloween,
Elm Street, you name it,
yeah,
all the
a lot.
Hollywood hits. I mean, that
Definitely.
was big influence.
It was this and Black Christmas. I mean, definitely. They really made like the slasher genre. You also cannot forget Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Gunnar Hansen, you will be missed, and I'm glad we have your films to dwell on. And
I'm
if
sure a
you've
lot
never
of our-
seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, guys,
And I'm sure a lot of our viewers out there have lots of memories. Like I said, you know, we're huge horror fans, but you know what? To try to get to conventions nowadays is just it's hard, work schedules and everything else. But I know a lot of our fans out there. You guys have had great stories. I've heard a lot and read a lot of great stories.
awesome pictures. I've seen people with Gunnar.
You know, and it's really is a really sad loss. But you know, I guess when everything goes, you celebrate what he did
Absolutely.
and what he did on this earth. So
Gunnar Hansen was mostly a writer. He really wanted to be a writer. He really didn't care about the Hollywood system. In the next
Who
films
does?
I'm going to show, he just did cameos.
except for I think one or two of them. I know he actually played.
He
larger
really do a
roles,
lot
but-
of like actual roles after Chainsaw. He just kind of did cameos. But another one he did, Riddle and Raid, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Good title.
Leonard Quigley again. Excellent film. He plays this this crazy priest druid who is obsessed with chainsaw. It's a chainsaw cult. A chainsaw cult leader. That's it.
Yeah.
Gunnar plays.
Isn't
Yeah,
that fitting?
that.
Isn't that fitting?
Yeah, and of course it's like a role that was meant for him. We have the great Chuck Palumbo murder set pieces. I wish this was the unrated version, but you're gonna pay an arm and a leg literally
That's
for the
already
unrated. It really is. But this one was really good too.
What was cool about this is after this happened, Fred Vogel of Toe Tag actually posted some pictures, some really pretty rare, I guess, you know, behind the scenes with Gunnar and on the set of it. It was really cool to see that. I mean, it's a sad thing that, you know, those pictures came up at that time, but you know, what better time, I mean, for us to see that. It was definitely cool that he got to work with him. I mean, it's an honor.
And he plays a Nazi that gives a gun to the main character. Basically, it's a really cool cameo. You just know it's him. Edwin Neal of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is also in this. Tony Todd's in this.
Yeah.
Serena Vincent of Cabin Fever. I mean, there's a lot of cameos in this film. Good movie, really good. And one of my personal favorite Gunnar Hansen appearances in a film is this one. Brutal Massacre, a comedy. I absolutely love this film. I adore this film. I mean, I probably could quote this movie. It's just great. obviously we're talking about Gunnar, so I'll get straight to Gunnar. He plays this crazy ex-Vietnam vet who's a drunk, and he comes across as being like a serial killer, and every line he says is fuck, basically. I don't give a fuck, fucker. Do what you want, fucker. Do your fucking worst, fucker. I mean, it's great. Excellent movie. Brutal massacre comedy. Gunnar Hansen. We love you at the Sentinel Rail.
Right on. I got a few here.
Who's got one?
Chainsaw Sally. This was April Burrell. I don't want to mess that up, but
She'll come after you with the chainsaw, man.
it's a shakorama. It's a lower budget film, but again, deals with the chainsaws in it. Really, he makes a cameo in it, of course.
And you get to see Gunnar actually pick up a chainsaw and fuck people
which
up
is really
one
cool.
more time, and it was great.
Jimmy O did this one. Cult movie, really good. And then finally, we got Harpoon, where Gunnar plays this
He's not in it very
really
long.
sea captain,
Sea
yeah.
captain, yeah.
And,
Whale
watching, yeah. And he wears this big white sweater with a turtleneck. The sea captain-esque.
Yeah. Looks like he's from Whale Watchers or something.
This was from Australia?
Whale Wars, I mean.
Was this from Australia, I think?
I couldn't tell you. I know Gunnar's not in
but
it
either
very
way,
long.
no, he's not.
He gets a fucking harpoon right through him, like Cannibal Holocaust style. Like he's hanging around there.
But it's that shows his talents, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays this kind of really aggravated captain, obviously.
And he's got a great accent too. I love that accent.
But definitely, he's a genuine character in that film, and much like his others. But again, we
will miss you. For sure.
It's hard to say, put into words, but
we love doing these tributes, but at times it's kind of hard because these people are gone forever. But at least film lasts forever, and check out all of Gunnar's films and appearances, and
definitely check out other stuff. He's on the internet. You can check out other stuff.
He's also in Demon Lover. Check out Demon Lover.
So yeah, definitely check him out. But definitely Gunnar, you'll be missed. We love you guys. And
one last cheers to Gunnar Hansen, Gould. Cheers to you guys out there. Cheers to Gunnar Hansen.
Hey, Pam. Hello.